and a half ago when I read a book that I really didn't like, and I said I would never read the sequel. Well, we're here to read the sequel. Hello everyone, it's Cassie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, like I mentioned in the intro, I'm reading a sequel to a book I really did not like. I did a vlog, I think like a year and a half ago now, where I read The Initial Insult by Mindy McGinnis. And I really didn't like this book. I gave it 2 stars, and I don't rate books that low. Like I normally just like 3 is the lowest I go. But if I really don't like a book, I will give it a 2. And that's what happened with The Initial Insult. If you want to watch that vlog first, that I will link in the description box below. It's the reading vlog. It has spoiler and non-spoiler review at the end if you want to watch that before this. In that video, I said I was never gonna read the sequel, or like very highly likely that I will never read the sequel, but I'm here today to read the sequel. Why? I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest. I just feel like I need to close this chapter of my life and read this book and hate it. Kind of a hate read. Just kidding. I'm gonna go into it thinking maybe I will like this. Hopefully I like it better than the first one, because hopefully we will get more answers. Some main problems from the first book for me was we got no answers for anything. Even the side mysteries or side little parts, we found out nothing. It was a borderline money grab, because this book didn't need to be 2 books, I don't think. We'll find out after this second book, but I don't think this needed to be a duology, because a lot of nothing happened in the first book. So we found out nothing. No revelations, just that both of them were kind of bad friends, but one was worse than the other. Second, there was weird chapters from this cat, maybe a panther's perspective, that I hated. I hated it so much, and it was so unrealistic that I just could not stand it, because this panther had like the human ability to realize that it shouldn't go through the front door. It should come up the back door, go up the back stairs, and wait for one of its owners. And this is set in a like real world setting, I think. To my knowledge, it's not a fantasy, and everything in it was so very much petty. So in the first book, we follow Tress and Felicity. I can't remember which one is which. I just watched my spoiler review, but I can't remember which one's which. And I think it's Tress is the main girl, and her parents disappeared and no one knows what happened. But Felicity was in the car with them when it happened. So she thinks Felicity knows and just isn't telling anyone. So she, again, these names might be mixed up, but she decides she's going to get Felicity at this party, and she is going to basically torture the truth out of her, ask her questions, and if she doesn't answer the way that Tress wants her to, she will start building this brick wall that blocks Felicity in, and will first kill her, but also this building is getting knocked down, so when they destroy this house, no one will ever find her. Other than wanting to find out what happened to her parents, any other reason that she was mad at Felicity was so surface level stupid stuff that just never made sense to me. So I did not like it with that, and yeah, it just was not for me at all. This is a type of like Edgar Allan Poe retelling, reimagining type of thing, and I don't know that stuff, so like there is that disconnect. I don't know the story, so that is something that I will never understand, but I don't think I want to read that now that I've read this, if this is anything similar. I did not buy this book because I'm not spending my money on this physical copy, but I did get it on Audible. It's an 8-hour and something minutes audiobook, and so it's gonna be shorter than that because I'm gonna speed it up. So this should be a pretty quick read when I actually get to it. I'm gonna try and start it today, but I am pretty busy, so I will be reading it over the next few days, and we will see how I feel about it. Hopefully, let's just double cross our fingers, our toes, everything, that I like this more than the first one, because we will get answers in this one. Let's get into this. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both of those would mean the absolute world to me. Comment it below if you read the first book or if you've read the second book, what you thought of them, and let's get into the reading vlog. I almost forgot to update you guys. I have read about half of, what's it called? The Last Laugh. I'm listening to it and I put it at 1.9 speed. I don't know, it might be able to be at 2, but I just put it at 1.9. I started it slower, but they read it really slowly, so I just kept upping it. Because normally if I don't have the book in front of me, I can't listen to it very quickly. I can't listen to it that quickly when I have the book in front of me either, but like it's worse when I don't have the book in front of me. I'm gonna do this vlog how I did the first one, where I do the whole vlog non-spoiler, and then I'll do a non-spoiler and a spoiler review, so I'm not gonna spoil anything yet. So this one follows right when the second one ends. I think it's like the next morning, and just the fallout from the ending of the first book. Again, I just don't think this book or these books needed to be a duology, because like literally nothing has happened and I have 2 hours left. No, I have like an hour and a half left. I don't see where it was needed. It kind of spoils something, but it's very minor. I will say it without saying it. I think I called her Tess in the beginning of the video. Her name's Tress. She's got an infection from something that happened in the first book, and that's like slowly killing her, but she won't go to the doctor for it. And that is like 90% of what's happening, just her talking about how she's in pain and how gross the infection is and all this stuff. And so that's just been pretty boring. One thing that I really didn't like with the first book was that there was these chapters from the Panther's perspective, and they were just like poems, and it just made no sense, and it was just weird. And they haven't those in this, but they have it from another animal's perspective. It's like some type of monkey. I think it's like a chimpanzee or something. I can't remember. Her name's Rue, and they don't make sense either. Like there's like tiny parts that make sense, but not really. And I hate those chapters. I hate them so much. It just irks me so much. And then we get a perspective from Tress's cousin. They call him Ribbit. I forget what his real name is. Something to do with a frog or something. Oh, Kermit, I think is his real name. But they call him Ribbit. And the beginning of this book where he was talking, it was so gross. They were just talking about, I'm sure this is partly what's happening in teenage boys' minds, but it was just so sexual and so degrading to women. And I'm sure that happens, but it was just not needed. That stuff was just not needed either. So it's just stuff like that it just irks me and I don't like about these books, and that I think they could have been put into one book. But I have no idea what's happening in this book, because Ribbit keeps hinting towards something happening, and he's saying it but he's not saying it, and I get build the suspense. Like he said the one thing, something that he has to do, but he didn't say, but he keeps hinting at other stuff surrounding that, I think, and it just is confusing and I don't love it. So I'm not really enjoying this one either. I think right now it's higher than the first one. I think I gave the first one 2 stars. At this point maybe I'd give it 2.53 stars, just because it hasn't made me as mad as the first book did, but it has 2 hours left, an hour 45 left, and the other one, it was the ending that really made me mad. So we will see, but I'm gonna try and finish it tomorrow. Don't know if that will happen because I'm pretty busy tomorrow, but tomorrow or early the next day. That's my thoughts so far. I almost forgot to even tell you guys that my thoughts so far. So hello, ignore the background. I was trying to just do a different background, but I don't really have like very like nice places to do backgrounds for my videos, so you're probably just gonna get mostly the same. And also, sorry if you can hear my heat is on right now. But I just finished The Last Laugh by Mindy McGinnis, so I thought I would come and talk to you about it. So first we'll do my non-spoiler review. So if you don't want any spoilers for this book, watch this part and click out before the spoilers begin. I'm kind of like, I don't know what to give this book. I don't hate it. Like, I hate the first book, but I don't like it. I had already talked to you about like the first half and the things that I was feeling whatever way about. So we'll just talk about the second half, I guess. I don't know, it just was weird. I still haven't looked at what this is based on, like the Edgar Allan Poe stuff that this is based on, so we'll just put that there. But it was just so weird and just not for me, like, at all. I think I'm gonna give it a 2 just because when I like it better than the first one, but giving it a 3 and comparing it to my other 3 stars, honestly, like, not that much happened in this book until the last, like, I don't know how long, maybe hour of the audiobook. I had it on 2 times speed at the end. Maybe less than the last hour of the audiobook was when things happened. And it just came out of left field. When comparing what you think is happening in the first book, it just seems like this is out of nowhere, which I didn't really like. All the characters suck. And to be honest, the ending was just like too wrapped up, like in a neat bow. Not everything worked out, but a lot of stuff worked out to make it a happy ending, and I didn't like that. The one thing that I wanted to happen to make it a happy ending was like the one thing that they made crappy, so that was annoying. I don't know, I just wouldn't recommend this duology to anyone. I mean, if you think you're gonna like it, go ahead. It's your life. But like, if you're thinking about it, I really don't think it's worth your time. Very meh. But I mean, it's an upgrade from the first one in the way that it didn't make me so mad. There wasn't cliffhangers. I think everything that I can remember got wrapped up, so that was nice. It was just too rushed at the end with it only being the last hour. It might have been only the last half an hour, honestly, of everything getting wrapped up and everything happening on. I think it was probably half an hour. So it was just way too quickly done. Like, we had a whole book for so much to happen, and it was just like bam, 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 bam in the last 30 minutes, so I didn't love that. Oh, it's probably at 2.5 stars. I liked it better than the first one, but probably because just not much happened, so I couldn't be as mad about it as I was with the first one. So yeah, it's hard to say. Do I regret reading this? Nah, I don't really have any feelings with it. That's kind of the thing, is I just don't have any feelings about this. That's like all I have for non-spoiler thoughts. Let's just go into the spoiler review. If you don't want to be spoiled for the first or second book in this duology, please click out of this video. This is your warning. What the heck just happened in this book? All of a sudden, we get this POV of Ribbit. What I can't stand saying his name is Ribbit. Kermit. I think that was his name. And he's just like a creep. Like, he was so creepy at the beginning, talking about girls. He just kept saying things without saying them, and it wasn't in like the 1 or 2 times, sure, but he said it like 20 million times. So it was really annoying. He was just a creep, especially how much he wanted to find Felicity, and like, he just thought like he's gonna find her and they're gonna get married and she's gonna fall in love with him because he found her. Not sure that that's how it works, but go off. when he reveals that he's gonna kill Tress, he like reveals it, just hints at it again. What? That's so weird. Like, we already know what you're gonna do. He's planning on killing her, but he wasn't gonna do the fire like the other students. Like, he had a plan, but we never were told what the plan was, because she just ended up calling him to come help with Felicity at the end. So, like, did he ever have a plan? Like, that's why you could have told us the plan, or could have just, like, you didn't have to hint at it because it never even happened. But I'm glad he died. He was awful. He was an awful person. Killing his uncle when he's 11. And I get his mom was abusive and like an awful person. I don't know how believable it is. And you're just a bad person, I guess. And like Felicity being almost murdered is your fault, actually. Because you're the one that killed one of Tress's parents and hid that, and so if you wouldn't have done that, then Tress wouldn't have had to kidnap Felicity and torture and think she killed her. So it all comes back to you, sir. I don't really get him murdering the other students with the fire. I don't really get it just because they're popular and he wasn't. 99% of the time, I don't like it when that's the motivation, and that was kind of some of the motivations for Tress in the first book. I didn't really get why he wanted to kill those people. So with the ending being so like, everything worked out, she's a millionaire and all that business, the only thing that I wanted a happy ending was Hugh living. That's all I wanted for the happy ending, and didn't get that, of course. I'm glad Kermit died. He deserved it. Deserved to be eaten by a panther. Bad person. Now, let's move on to Tress. I don't know how this girl lives. She stops a guy from murdering her with a baseball bat. I don't even really know how she does it. Gets him and kills him and gets him ripped apart by her monkey. How does she do that when she can't even use one of her arms, basically? Maybe she's got a high pain tolerance, because I don't know. And then kills her grandpa, even though she didn't mean to. Kills her grandpa with the explosion. He was a bad person, so how the heck? Now let's go here. When she goes to find Felicity, how the heck is Felicity alive? I think the party happened on a Friday. It might have been Saturday morning when Felicity died. Then she's got all this stuff knocked on her, and it's Wednesday when Tress finds her. I guess. I don't know. That's crazy. And also just crazy that no one looked there before. Last place she had been seen was this house. And even though they say someone looked at it before they knocked it down or whatever, or people are hoping they looked at it before they knocked it down, why would you just like not check there if someone was missing and that was their last known location? But I mean, I guess it was good she was alive. She didn't deserve to die. I just think it was like, oh, happy ending. Tress isn't a murderer in that way. It works out. And then Tress is a millionaire because of this oil or gas, I don't know, this thing that blew up. It's just very happy ending-ish, but I don't even know if it should have been. I don't know. It's not like I wanted to be like sad ending, but like it didn't need to be this happy. It's believable that the aunt would have killed her parents just because we see the family killings all the time in literature, but also in real life, so that was believable. I just don't remember seeing that much of like the aunt in the first one to at all foreshadow this result. I think that's a big part of it. And the friggin' Rue's chapters, hated Hated. I don't like the animal talking thing. That's one of my biggest hates from these books. Just doesn't make sense. Like, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I don't know. Was it worth it, me reading this second book? I mean, kind of nice that I know how it wrapped up. But whatever. It was just an audiobook, so I don't feel like I wasted that much time because I think it was only 4 hours that I listened to it too. Wouldn't recommend personally, but if you do whatever you want to do. I don't know if I'll read from this author in the future. I don't know. Maybe I read the synopsis of something and it sounds really good, maybe. But I'm not going to be looking for this author's releases or anything just because I don't know that the writing is for me or the concepts. But who knows? I could be wrong and love a book by this author later. I know there's one book, I can't remember what it's called, but it's about, oh, I think it's heroin actually, because it's about drugs and addiction. That apparently that's really good. So who knows? Maybe I'll read that. I don't know. That's all from me. Hopefully this vlog was interesting. I know a couple people wanted me to read the second book, see what my thoughts were on the second book. So this is for you. This is closure for me. I finished the series, even though I thought I was going to DNF this one and was totally okay with DNFing the series. Here we are, I think like a year and a half later from when I read the first one, so look at us now. I think I'm going to give it a 2 on Goodreads, probably a 2.5, but very meh, but oh well. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both those would mean the absolute world to me. Comment down below if there's any books or series you want me to do vlogs on in the future. There's my heat on again, so that's my cue to leave. Make sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!